Welcome back, Wake Up Barstool. So yesterday, we talked to Bruce Pearl about a take that he had over the weekend, basically advocating for Auburn by attacking a bit Miami of Ohio. And so we asked Bruce yesterday, okay, well, how do you feel about this Miami of Ohio team? How would they translate to another one of these major leagues? And here's what Coach Pearl had to say.
Dave, my point was this. Are we going to select the 37 at large, because 31 are automatic, 37 best teams or the 37 most deserving teams? For me, Miami of Ohio is one of the most deserving. If they were a one loss, I would still put them in. But my point was the metrics and the way they determine the tournament, it's not set up for them. But I've said that if I was on a committee and they had one, maybe even two, you've got the human element that allows you to do it. But the math all by itself, it doesn't work for them.
Who better to talk to now than Miami of Ohio AD David Sayler? David, thank you so much for waking up with us this morning. Your reaction when you hear Coach Pearl saying that you would finish dead last in some of these other major conferences?
Well, I am an accounting major in undergrad. I know math pretty well. I think 0 in the loss column is pretty good math in terms of adding up to our scenario. But, I'm just proud of our student athletes. And I was a little bristled on Sunday when I heard some of his comments. I was here in the office catching up on some things. We had a huge board meeting last week where we just approved a new $240 million basketball arena to be built here on campus.
Damn.
And so I dropped that in the chat, the link to that. But I was doing some work catching up, and I heard his comments about we have to be undefeated, win the conference tournament to get in. Little kind of bristled by that, kind of heard a few wheeze in there when he was talking about Auburn. Okay, whatever. And then yesterday, the Big East stuff was really where I felt like, I needed to step in and just defend really the heart and soul of college basketball. The mid-majors and the magic of March Madness, all the things that we bring to the table, the story of a school like Miami versus the story of the 11th placed SEC team or 12th placed Big Ten team that nobody really wants to see. So I just felt like it was time for me to stand up for our student athletes. They're on the verge of doing something historic. When you talk about since 1985, when the tournament expanded, there's only been 7 teams that have gotten to this point We're one of 7 that are 29-0. And that's over 12,000 teams that had a chance to do that. And we're one of 7. If we finish undefeated, we're one of 5 to ever do that. And for somebody to say that we don't belong in a tournament of 68 teams when we're one of 5 all time or one of 7 all time to accomplish something, I just can't buy that.
Yeah, I like you defending your team, and I happen to agree with you. I think that if you go through an entire conference undefeated, that is an exceptionally hard thing to do, especially in college basketball, where night in and night out, you've seen even, Miami, Ohio has had these moments where they've been on the brink, where they've been tested, and to pass every single one of those tests deserves a ton of credit. I think it's also fair to say that your guys' resume non-conference is not great, but again, going back to the conference, you guys have passed every test. I think you guys should be in. I agree with the fact that college basketball, March Madness needs stories like this. I do not need a 10th place SEC team. I do need a team like Miami of Ohio. But let me just say this, and I want to put you down as nicely as possible. What's the point of going to the tournament when Duke's going to win it all anyway? Like, what are you even fighting for right now? What are you fighting for?
It's so funny because I literally, before I came on, I saw something on X that somebody wrote that we would just lose by Duke against Duke by 30 anyway.
30? Oh my God, David.
Hey,
David, you'd be lucky to lose by 30. You'd lose by 300. They're that good.
But I wrote back and said, well, that's funny you say that because NC State lost by 29 last night and 11th ranked Virginia by 26 the other day. So
yeah, no, listen, they're that good. I'm just saying,
teams.
I will fight with you. I've actually been fighting for Miami of Ohio all year. I think you guys should be in the tournament. I actually think you guys are going to do both, so it's going to be a moot point. I think it's going to be one of those things that the world got pre-mad about something that took care of itself. But again, why even fight when you're going to get smashed by Duke? And that Duke might actually just play all the other teams.
You'd be saying to this every other AD as well. This is
attack. Yeah. Every other AD that's just not the Duke's AD, I'd be like, why are you even trying to get in the tournament? It's Duke's year.
But in the history of our conference, nobody has ever been undefeated in our league. So we're chasing something that nobody's ever done. And to your point, Gonzaga lost at Portland this year. It was a terrible loss, right? When you go on the road, these things happen. We have 13 true road wins this year. It's more than anybody in the country. Nobody else has the best after us is 11. So we've gone on the road 13 times against Division I teams and won. And the only Power Four, multi-bid team that's in that group of true road wins, that's 11, is Michigan. So kudos to them for stepping out on the road. Nobody else at that level schedules road games anymore. And so for us to win 13 is a testament to our student athletes and our coaches.
Yeah, and almost, I think, like, obviously you got 2 more regular season games. It's almost like that should be a clause right there. That should be an automatic bid in itself.
Yeah. What, if you win the...
Yeah, if you go undefeated during the... Like, come on. Before your conference tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it'll probably end up being enough in the end. I have another question about an interview that we did yesterday, David. So we talked to DJ Chuck, the amazing DJ Chuck yesterday. Speaking of going on the road, you're at Western Michigan, intense game. Coach Steele before half levels the speaker and whatnot. I've heard you talk to Chuck. I just want to tie everything up. Has everything been resolved, or all amends have been made? We're good to go with Coach Steele and Chuck and everybody?
We are in a really good place, and DJ Chuck has some new equipment on the way.
Okay, hell yeah.
We're going to make that work, and Travis has said he needs to be better, and I agree. But let me just say this about Western Michigan real fast. Our starting point guard this year, who was an all-MAC level player, got hurt before Christmas, tore his ACL. He's out for the year. So we've had to deal with that already. Then our backup point guard, who became our starting point guard, he missed that game, Western Michigan. So we've started a true freshman on the road who ended up hitting the game-winning shot. Our best player fouled out with 10 minutes left. One of our other best players was recovering from the flu. These are things people don't talk about and see. I'm fortunate that the committee understands those things. They see those things. But the general public doesn't. That's why that game was such a struggle for us.
David, I don't think you were watching earlier, but you just said something that I couldn't disagree with more when you said Coach Steele has to be better. No, I think he has to be worse. I think he should go even harder, because I love college basketball coaches having just the maturity of like a 7-year-old playing in their backyard, where any type of loss or adversity, they have an absolute meltdown. That's what makes college basketball the best. So I would hope you're his boss. Tell him to be worse. Tell him to, like break the whole DJ equipment booth. Go absolutely insane.
It's a fine line, right? Like, I want Travis to be Travis. What makes him special is that he cares and he's passionate, and he really, does a great job recruiting student athletes that are amazing. So I want Travis to stay in his lane and do everything he's doing and be fantastic. And we want Travis here for a long, long time at Miami. That's my goal. But as far as damaging equipment, maybe that's where we could draw a bit of a line.
Disagree. This is why I should be AD.
It was
let
great.
My coaches go crazy.
Okay, so tonight at home against Toledo, Friday traveling to Ohio, one more road test if y'all complete it. Undefeated regular season. That would be incredible, David. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. One more word on the way. You get the final word over Coach Pearl, all the other haters. Anything you want to add about your RedHawks team on the verge of history?
Well, I also just didn't quite understand, DePaul on my screen here, they're in 5th place in the Big East, and he mentioned them being last. So I don't quite know how an analyst doesn't have the right rankings of the Big East teams. And the other piece is Buffalo, who's in our league, who's 7th in the MAC, beat DePaul by 13. So, there's a few things there. UMass is 9th in our league. They've beaten 2 ACC teams. Eastern Michigan's 11th in our league, and they beat Cincinnati. So we just need to be honest about what non-conference scheduling has become. It's really risk management. It's not competition. The current system incentivizes avoiding risk rather than rewarding competitive courage. And that's a shame for college basketball.
Hell yeah, man. Well said.
Love and honor.
David Sayler, thank you so much, man. Best of luck. Again, finish the fight. Cheering for y'all. And you have an excellent day, man.
Miami of America. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're no longer Miami of
Why
Ohio.
choose the other Miami? Did you see it outside there?
Yeah, I mean, it looks beautiful, dude.